What is going on, everybody? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is your weekly gear news update because it is Wednesday. That's the day we do these things. Do me a favor and hit the like button and the subscribe button and hit the little bell down there so that you don't miss any videos. We have a bunch of cool stuff coming. We are in Colorado still. We're still in the van, or Matt at Texas Toast likes to call it the module. So do me a favor and stick around to the end of the video because we got a bunch of cool stuff I want to tell you about. And because this is just getting cooler by the minute. What we're doing in Colorado is getting cooler by the second. And I'm just going to fill you in on a couple of things that you could be a part of, actually. So just FYI, little sneak peek. All right, let's get into some of this news. Fender has filed trademarks for NFTs and other crypto collectibles, which is sort of weird. Like, what is Fender going to do with NFTs? I don't know. But here's the thing. I was diving into this a little bit, and it has to do with the peg head shape. My guess, this is just a guess, an opinion, but I would think that they are trademarking the peg head in NFT form and other crypto collectibles to protect the brand from being misused in NFTs by other people. My guess is they're not gonna, maybe they'll start selling that stuff. I don't know, but I'm just saying it's happening. But my guess would be it's just a brand protection thing. Canadian brand Solid Gold Effects has just announced a new pedal called the Surfrider 4, and it's a reverb pedal. And it's basically kind of based on, it's got 3 different modes. It's the Super Reverb, Fantasy Reverb, and Reverbo Rocket. As you can kind of tell, they're doing vintage Fender sounds. So basically those old school reverb tanks with the real floppy springs, they're doing that sort of sound in a pedal, which is really cool because really good spring reverb in a pedal, never, well, not say never, but it's harder to do than getting the real thing. So this would be really cool if it's really good. The Surfrider 4 by Solid Gold Effects. Pedal company Meris LVX has just come out with a new delay pedal. They call it their modular delay. And it's got 4 foot switches with a bunch of stuff. It's got like 9 something knobs on it. Here's the thing about this. This is one of those things. We're going to put it in the news. We're going to put a link to it in the description so you can go look at it because this thing is deep. This is kind of a next level on these high-end delay pedals that can do basically everything delay related. But what I think is very cool about this particular one is the interface. Some of these delay pedals, this got a big LCD screen on it, some of these delay pedals are so deep that you're literally just like scrolling and toggling forever for features, and it appears that they've really done a good job with the UI on this thing, the user interface, so that it will be easier to use, easier to access, easier to preset. 99 presets, you know, just like everything else. Got a bajillion stuff that it does, but UI is a big thing, and making it easier to use on stage and in the studio, that would probably be the goal, I would imagine, because this thing looks wicked clean. As you have probably seen and maybe felt it in your own pocketbook too, prices are going up on a lot of stuff. Music gear is obviously within that. Everybody's had to raise prices in the last year or so, or the last 2 years. We at Dylan Talks Tone, I have really pushed against it. We've gone 2 years, I think, without a price increase. I'm really fighting it off. Oh man, it's one of those that you really want to try to fight it off as long as possible. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to raise prices. Instead of doing that, Chase Bliss is doing something different. Chase Bliss Audio, obviously, you know, they have guitar effects pedals with tons of knobs and switches on them, and they always do amazing things. Chase Bliss is incredible. They are pulling out of dealers and going direct. And this is an interesting move that I think a lot of people might make that are smaller brands, you know, like myself, pull out of dealers so that they can basically take that profit back for themselves and not have to raise the prices to you as the end user or to us. I think it's a good move. We don't have any dealers right now. And that's kind of one of the reasons, is so that we don't have to do that. And I really respect them over there for thinking of ways so that they don't affect us as the end user, but they can still continue to go. He said in a YouTube video that if he didn't raise prices, he might not make it. So this is a way to be able to continue to keep going. I think this is very cool. Some people don't like it, but you got to do what you got to do, and I'm glad that they're going to still be with us making this cool stuff, because Chase Bliss is next level. Let's talk amp news. We haven't had any really good amp news for a while. Blackstar is releasing their all-new St. James lineup of amps. 50-watt amps, heads and combos, head and cabinets and combos, and they're saying that these are going to be like the lightest 50-watt amps ever, but they're doing it in some very, very cool ways. So you're going to be able to get 6L6 or EL34 valves, tubes, whatever you call them, from wherever you are. These things are going to be, and I didn't do the math, so I'll just go backwards this time. How about metric for y'all folks? 12.8 kilograms, 13.6 kilograms, and 6.7 kilograms, depending on the head or the cabinet. The way they're doing this is it's a tube amp, but they're using switch mode power supplies, which, what is the easiest way to say that? A switch mode power supply is a transistor based power supply made, I don't know, I think of them in like old computer monitors, for example. So the old computer monitor had a tube, which was the monitor itself, and then switch mode power supply is what made the thing go. And some lighter transformers. So it's a different way of making the power to power the tubes, which I think is very interesting. And they're also using this wood called candle nut, so all of the cabinets are going to be wicked light as well. I really applaud this, because you know me, I will say if there is a new, better way to do the same old thing, we should find the new, better way. And different woods, it doesn't have to be Baltic birch, which it can't right now because of world conditions are making it to where Baltic birch is very difficult to come by and very expensive. So changing up wood is very cool, as well as this switch mode power supply thing, which I don't know that's ever been done that I can think of in a tube amp. Very cool combo. I dig this, and I want to try one. All that remains, guitar player Jason Richardson obviously plays in Ernie Ball Music Man. They came out with a couple of new colors. You can see them here. It's kind of a bold new graphics thing, but there they are, and now you know. I will leave a link to as much of this stuff as I can find in the description of this video. We have all those links down there. If you use them, it helps out the channel just a little bit. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help out the channel. Yeah, it's part of the thing that makes this whole thing go, so I do appreciate it. Just in case you ever wanted to play Wonderwall like you've never played Wonderwall before, Noel Gallagher's 355 Gibson has been teased as a new signature model. So I'm sure the first, you know how Gibson goes, first brand will be like unobtainium price, and then they might have another one that you'll be able to afford. Who knows how they'll do this? I'm not really sure. Anyway, you will Wonderwall like you've never Wonderwalled before. PRS has come out with a fancy guitar. If you think that fancy, expensive guitars aren't selling, you would be wrong. Everybody that I've talked to on the manufacturing side, on the parts procurement side, like the supply chain side, and on the dealer side, has told me that they cannot keep expensive fancy guitars around. They are selling out, which is crazy, right? But it's true. And so PRS has come out with this new thing. It's a semi-hollow double cut. You can see it here, but it's their private stock stuff. I don't know how expensive this thing's going to be. I know it's going to be 85 guitars for sure. That's it. And it's going to have a maple top, black limba back and neck, and a zircote fretboard. If you look at it, you can just see it's just super fancy. If you like fancy wood, you might be into this thing. I'm not necessarily a fancy wood guy. So it's going to have the 22 fret thing. It's going to have the 25 inch scale like normal, and 5815 humbuckers, and a PRS narrow field single coil in the middle. So this is very traditional PRS stuff. We've seen it before, but wicked fancy. I don't know how many times I can say fancy in this story, but it's up there. I don't know how much it's going to cost. They don't put a price on it, so that means it's fancy. I would also imagine that they're going to sell them faster. I bet maybe they're already sold. I don't know. This has been on the internet for 4 or 5 days. Maybe they're already sold. Who knows? Our trip to Colorado has been wicked super fun. We are halfway through the whole situation. We have 2 more. Let me tell you what we're doing for those of you that don't know. We are at Texas Toast Guitars. We're going to be here for the whole month of May. We are doing a thing where on Saturday, this coming Saturday, so it would be like the 21st or whatever, these people will come. There's going to be 7 people are going to come on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, they're going to learn to wind their own pickups. They've never done it before. It's first time. They're going to wind their own pickups, and then next week, most of them will stick around for the entire week and build a guitar that then they put the pickups that they made in that guitar. Super, super cool. We already did this once. Here is a couple of the guitars that we did in that class. They built this stuff from blocks of wood. These are not kits. Texas Toast Guitars does these workshops that are week-long workshops where you do everything. You start with a block of wood and you leave with a guitar. And we have collaborated with Texas Toast Guitars to add this pickup winding component to it, so you really are building the whole guitar and not just buying stuff off the shelf and putting it in there. You made these pickups if you're part of this thing. So cool. So we're doing 3 of them this month. Those are all sold out. We're working on one in September that is not sold out. We're working on another one in November that I think has 1 spot left. Watch the live streams this week for more details on that. And then we're working on a bunch of stuff for 2023 as well. So stay tuned. If this is something that you're interested in doing, building your own guitar from scratch, even if you only build one in your entire life, I recommend that you check this out, as well as winding your own pickups as part of the deal. Super, super cool. There will be more details about this coming up. I do not have... Well, we've got some really cool stuff that I can't even tell you about related to this right now that we're still working on. That's wicked awesome. But what I do know is we do have some dates. I'll leave links to where you can go find those dates, and then keep an eye on those links because there's going to be more dates added where you can do this stuff, and I'm super stoked to be a part of it. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, the like button, the little bell, all the stuff. Do the YouTube-y things. I do appreciate it. Use the links down there. They keep us going. And check us out on our live stream. We're probably going to be hanging out on the Texas Toast live stream this week, and then we're going to pop over to our own live stream and have some fun there, doing some Q&A stuff. And then we've got another video. We're shooting we shot a video the other day, like a full-on automated CNC shop. Well, that's cool. That's already on the channel. And then we're going to go the other extreme. I think we're working on today a video where we shoot a bunch of stuff where it's literally old pin router, deadhead sander, old school stuff like they do at Texas Toast. So you get to see kind of both extremes of how a guitar is made. So do me a favor and hit those buttons because you're going to dig that content. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next one.